Today we're talking about 6 old Iron Banner weapons that will leave your enemies in shambles even in 2024. Which is great that the weapons are good, because after spending some time at the dentist yesterday, I think I'd rather go back there than play solo tribute. My gosh, I mean, nobody knows how to play the objective. If you're gonna suffer for loot, at least it's good. And these old weapons today are kind of like if you went to the local gym and got your ankles broken by the old guy in a pickup game. Some of these weapons are veritably ancient, Paleolithic by Destiny and internet standard. I mean, Criminal's Dagger is so old, it's probably had at least 2 knee replacements by now. There's the 3 refreshed weapons, of course, we just got in Claw of the Wolf, Criminal's Dagger, and Reese Walker, which we're gonna save for last since I'm probably the literal last YouTuber to talk about them. And then there's 3 more that haven't been refreshed in a while, but still have really good rolls. They're old, but they can still hang with the best. Also, before we get into it, full disclosure, I actually really do hate Tribute, and for sake of time, I don't have footage of all these weapons. So I guess my source is trust me, bro. Starting off with my personal favorite, Pressurized Precision. If fusion rifles give you a bad rap, then this one is going to make you public enemy number 1. Other than the Antaeus and iterative loop meta that literally felt like cheating, Pressurized is one of the cleanest, easiest fusions I've ever used. Despite its faster charge time being an adaptive, I frequently snag kills with it that are well outside of my range I expect it to reach. And that's because of a few traits. My go-to is Firmly Planted and Eye of the Storm for just that reason. Improved accuracy so I can grab kills consistently and easily, often at ranges exceeding typical damage falloff. Oftentimes I'm sliding into a shot, so by the time my fusion charges, I've got the benefits of Firmly Planted, which grants, most importantly, increased accuracy and stability, both of which kind of have an artificial extension on range in a way. Stability and accuracy both improve your odds of hitting shots at further ranges, and if you can land all your bolts, even if you're encountering some damage falloff, you can still snag the one-shot kill. Now with a charge time of 660 at base, it's very likely that I'll be taking some damage from my target as well, which is where Eye of the Storm kicks in, with additional accuracy and handling benefits. So now we have both traits increasing accuracy, and at this point it feels nearly impossible to miss. It's such a simple but incredibly potent trait combination that really doesn't require you to do much more than a typical fusion asks of you. Just slide, stay on target, and you're good. And if you want to pre-charge a little more instead of playing it so aggressive, then you can always just crouch real quick before your charge goes off for the increased accuracy and stability. One of my favorite rolls for sure, but there are some other legit options as well, like Discord in the first column with Rangefinder. If you can get rolling with a primary and activate Discord for the accuracy and ammo benefits, you could really become a terror with this fusion rifle. Kills with Discord active refund ammo, doesn't just refill it from reserves, and in the current ammo economy, that benefit comes a lot more in handy since there's a little less in circulation. If you don't want to think about it, moving target and rangefinder would also be fine. Don't have to think about anything, just ape with your fusion. And just remember, you can get these weapons pretty easily by focusing in the Legacy tab with Saladin, so they're not too hard to get. Now the next weapon is one that I will admit I don't like. I don't like it at all, but not because the weapon isn't good. It's because I'm bad with it and I'm jealous and I can't see anything when I ADS with this thing. Occluded Finality is just... When you get into a match with someone who's actually really good with this thing, it's just stupid. 55 zoom, ridiculous aim assist, and stupid good perk combos like snapshot and opening shot. There isn't a shot they can't hit on you. Sniper rifles in Destiny have certain amounts of aim assist based on how much zoom they have. Low zoom snipers have lower aim assist, and high zoom snipers have higher aim assist. Occluded Finality sits at a ridiculous 55 zoom. I don't enjoy this thing because it feels like Saladin handed me a sniper rifle with a telescope on it, slaps me on the back, and says, "Good luck sniping my fellow eating shotgun goofball titans on Cauldron, idiot." Some people make it work. I definitely can't, but I wanted to talk about it because it is a very powerful weapon in the right hands. Like I said, you've got snapshot and opening shot for excellent zoom speed, aim assist, and accuracy. There's also no distractions if your sniping play style is a little more campy, certainly nice for reducing flinch. Lastly, there's Iron Reach in the second column, which you can let easily max out your range, bringing it to 95, then just top it off with something like corkscrew rifling. That said, I probably wouldn't do that because opening shot grants plus 20 range in addition to accuracy benefits anyways, so you're hitting the range ceiling anyway. At number 3, and the final weapon in the Legacy tab, is Peace Bond. Somewhat ironic name considering you'll be raining death on your opponents with this thing. Peace Bond is an adaptive sidearm, meaning it fires in 3-round bursts. This archetype has historically been very potent in PvP, and Peace Bond was certainly a part of that history. Even though we've not seen a refresh since Witch Queen, Peace Bond has traits that still hold up really nicely. Immediately, I go to Perpetual Motion and Iron Reach. It's a balanced but a little bit more rangy roll. There's also Rangefinder in the first column, but that's been slapped pretty hard in recent years. I'd probably just opt for something more potent like Killing Wind if you want to lean into range more. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, there aren't very many good damage perks. You're choosing between Focused Fury, Harmony, and Swashbuckler. Swashbuckler is the easiest to activate and personally is my go-to. Each stack is going to add at least some forgiveness as your damage increases, but considering we're using a sidearm, we're also in melee range a good amount of time. If you manage to get a cleanup kill with your melee and immediately proc Swashbuckler ×5, you can dish out serious damage. The only real big issue I have with Peace Bond isn't really about the weapon itself as much as it is that, as far as primaries go, it's not really versatile. When you're playing with sidearms, you just have to be really mindful of where you are, how to position yourself in the best spot to not get shotgunned or fusion rifled, but still stay in optimal damage range. It's a difficult balance, and on some maps, it sort of just doesn't work. But on the maps, or at least the lanes that sidearms can be effective, maps like Cauldron, my goodness, you can make a shooting gallery out of your opponents. Despite the onslaught of dozens of good craftable weapons since Witch Queen, Peace Bond remains near the top in my opinion. Weapon number 4 and our first refreshed weapon is Reese Walker, meaning we can enhance this one. It's a lightweight kinetic shotgun. This archetype is a lag behind precision shotguns mainly due to the pellet spread changes around a year ago, but it still does perform pretty well. Probably because of the one big reason, the speed boost. Lightweight weapons grant a moderate speed boost when equipped, which really helps bozos like me close the gap when we wildly overestimate our abilities. Lightweights don't really one-shot that well anymore, so the main play is going to be rushing in for the shotgun melee. It's also why I couldn't use any perks on Reese Walker that require kills with the weapon either, because most of the kills end up being your melee anyways. The crazy thing to me is that Reese Walker was not only brought back with enhanceable traits, but the better versions of what was there before. So now instead of slideways, we've got slide shot in the first column, and now opening shot in the second column. In my mind, that's really the best a shotgun can get. Slide shot doesn't really have a cooldown, it'll keep you loaded and ready, and even extend that range a little bit, and you never know when that half meter might make a difference. There's also Slick Draw in the first column for maxed out handling, although it does decrease target acquisition, so it's kind of hard to say if that's worth it. To me, it isn't worth the risk of missing some of the pellets for some extra handling, since lightweights usually handle pretty well anyways. Those traits we just talked about are really the only worthwhile options in my mind. There are other kill activated perks like Adagio and Killing Wind that could certainly be interesting paired together, but again, it's somewhat difficult to actually get kills with the shotgun, not to mention the ammo issues. You do need ammo to follow up on a kill activated perk. Again, I think probably the best way to use lightweights in 2024 is just build into speed and plan on giving people the old Halo 3 shotgun melee combo beatdown. Back in the day, you almost assumed you weren't getting the one-shot kill, and lightweights are kind of the same way now. You got to be really close. You got to play with a little bit more anticipation, position yourself properly, and launch yourself at your enemies with the right timing and enough life to close the gap and give them the smackdown. Slide shot, opening shot, in my opinion, that gives you the best chance to do it consistently. Other perks have intriguing possibilities, but if you want consistent performance, that's probably the way to go. At number 5, I wanted to talk about Criminal's Dagger very briefly. I haven't gotten a role I'm happy with, and frankly, I'm not willing to keep farming because Solo Tribute is like a rage room. Except without the fun, because you have to pay for everything you smash. But there is one role I want you to look out for, which is Enlightened Action and Kill Clip. Criminal's Dagger handles slower than a semi-trucking molasses, so Enlightened Action really helps out the handling and poor reload by boosting both just for dealing damage, which we're gonna need that reload. If you want to lean into something more consistent, then I'd stick with Enlightened Action. Maybe Precision Instrument, so just landing crits grants bonus damage and allows for some extra forgiveness. There's also Explosive Payload if that's something you enjoy as well, so there's some options. Criminal's Dagger isn't really my favorite 120 by any stretch, but it has some effective options that certainly help fill the kinetic slot in nicely. Last and certainly not least, and also most certainly talked about to death, is Claws of the Wolf. Right out of the gate, this thing's worth the hype. I have a few rolls that are very nice. I've been rolling with one that's got Headseeker and Zen Moment, paired with range boosting traits like Full Bore. I really like this roll because you can get away with garbage stability because Zen Moment is going to keep you steady. Headseeker is going to help out a little bit as well with the increased aim assist, in addition to the bonus crit damage, and the consistency on that roll with Headseeker and Zen Moment together is just really enjoyable to use. There are other fantastic pairings as well, such as To the Pain with Kill Clip for faster handling, increased aim assist, and damage after a kill. And you know, something I didn't realize at first was that To the Pain does not fall off. It's a permanent buff as long as you don't stow your weapon, which is crazy to me. I was using it the first time the other day and I was just expecting it to fall off, and then I realized it wasn't going anywhere. So if you engage in a duel, you survive it, you manage to kill your target and survive the next guy who is there to clean you up, you took a bunch of damage, you're going to get into your next duel preloaded with a bunch of extra handling and aim assist, even if you don't find another target within 20 seconds and you're at full health. It's actually encouraging and rewarding you to use your primary. I like that. There's also Perpetual Motion. That's a really natural pair with Kill Clip, boosted stats, increased damage after a fast reload, and since Headseeker is in the first column as well instead of the second column like it usually is, that allows allows us to pair it with damage perks, which is a really interesting possibility. For me, I'm probably going to go with either To the Pain and Kill Clip, or Head Seeker and Zen Moment for the maxed out ease of use. Either of these combinations are going to serve you really well. I'll definitely be enhancing some of these as soon as I find a way to scavenge for more cores. That's all 6 weapons I wanted to talk about. We're going to leave it at that for today. Some really good weapons in Iron Banner if you can bear to suffer through the mode. I didn't even talk about them all today. There's Tusk of the Boar as an honorable mention, as well as Multi-Mock. Lethal Abundance has some pretty nice rolls as well. I just wanted to focus on some of the really old ones, and I didn't want to make the video go too long. So if I left out your favorite, sorry about that, but I've only got so much time. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to subscribe. Leave a like to get this video out to more people. I also have a Discord you can hang out in. Check that out in the description. I'm also over on Twitch and stream every weekend. Sometimes I do build tests, run GMs, all that fun stuff. So definitely stop by. It's always a good time. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys next time.